I am speaking now so you do not keep postponing your joy. Do not skip this. It is for you. You have carried questions you were never meant to carry alone. You felt something was off before there were words for it, an ache that did not match the explanation, a smile that did not match the energy, a gift with a hook in it, a compliment that came with a leash. Today I untie the knot. Today I give you sight. You are loved. You are safe in me. You are not crazy, you were discerning. Hold on to that sentence like a lantern, you were discerning. Let the fog lift. Listen to me, child. The turbulence in your life did not start with you. It started with patterns, and patterns were faces for a time. The storm that shook your peace had a mouth, but the wind came from deeper weather. You kept trying to negotiate with the surface while the current pulled from beneath. You apologized for noticing the rip tide. You made excuses for the waves. You learned to hold your breath longer than a heart should. I am the one who gives breath, I do not ask you to live without it. Breathe again. Now, let me show you what you sensed. There is a woman whose presence sits at the intersection of many of your recent pains, arguments that ignite from nothing, opportunities that slip at the last moment, friendships thinned by whispers you never quite hear, a confusion that follows you home. Do not panic, be observant. Do not hate, be holy. Do not lash out, stand up. I am not calling you to war, I am calling you to clarity. When my light turns on, shadows protest, but they cannot stay. I will not let you be devoured by expectation, manipulation, or guilt. I will not let your kindness be used as a ladder for someone else to climb over your boundaries. Hear me, love without wisdom becomes fuel for those who do not love back. Wisdom is love with eyes open. You have asked for a name. You think that if you had a label you could take a deep breath, point to a single place, and be done. But the snare is older than a name and wider than a single person. The snare is the pattern that person carries. The pattern arrived first, the person became its courier. If I gave you a single name, the pattern would just switch carriers, and you would call it a new beginning while living the same ending. So here is what you truly need, the pattern's name. The name is control disguised as care. The name is access disguised as advice. The name is, I only want what's best for you, spoken with hands that rearrange your life without asking you. The name is convenience that drains you. The name is intimacy that ignores your no. The name is flattery that rises when you serve and disappears when you stand. The name is, I was just joking, after wounding you. The name is, everyone knows, when you ask for a source. The name is, if you loved me, you would, tied to a leash you never agreed to wear. The name is the shifting goalpost that keeps your worth on layaway. Remember this, when love becomes a task you can never finish, you are not in love, you are in labor for someone else's image. I will give you signs so you do not walk in circles. First sign, your inner weather. Around this person, you leave conversations with more confusion than you brought into them. Peace does not go silent without reason. Pay attention to how your spirit feels after interaction. If you feel smaller, muddier, or indebted, that is data. Second sign, selective generosity. Watch for gifts that are mentioned later as receipts, favors that become leverage, secrets traded like currency. True generosity frees you, false generosity keeps a ledger. Third sign, triangulation. Pay attention to how often you hear, they said, or everyone thinks, without names or context. Vagueness is not a fog, it is a tool. Fourth sign, urgency that refuses accountability. Notice when you are pushed to decide, right now, while basic questions are dismissed as unspiritual, ungrateful, or dramatic. Manipulation cannot survive a slow pace. Fifth sign, erosion of other bonds. Look for patterns where your other friendships thin out, not because they are unhealthy, but because someone needs you isolated to be more useful. Control always seeks quiet corridors. I am not asking you to accuse, I am asking you to observe. You will not hurt anyone by paying attention. You are not wrong for taking notes on your own life. You will not be punished by me for protecting your heart. I did not give you a spirit of fear, I gave you power, love, and a sound mind. A sound mind keeps receipts. A sound mind can say, I need time. A sound mind can say, no, thank you. A sound mind can decide that honesty without kindness is cruelty, and kindness without honesty is enabling. Let your yes be yes and your no be no, let nothing else be borrowed from your dignity. Here is a simple protection I am placing in your hands. It is a 4-door house. Door 1, Truth. Say what you actually feel, not what keeps the peace for the moment. Peace built on denial collapses, peace built on truth can breathe. Door 2, Time. Slow everything down. Real love can wait, plans can be reviewed, decisions can be slept on. If the room panics when you take your time, the room is not safe. Door 3, Boundaries. Name what you are available for and what you are not. Boundaries are the walls that define where you end and someone else begins. They are not punishments, they are property lines that keep gardens from being trampled. Door 4, Witness. Bring safe eyes into rooms that feel slippery. Conversation changes when truth keeps company. You do not need to be alone with anyone who twists your words, your memories, or your kindness. You are allowed to step out of loyalty contracts you never signed. You are allowed to end assignments God did not give you. You are allowed to let silence answer manipulative questions. You are allowed to love people from a distance that keeps you sane. You are allowed to upgrade your circle from people who use your tenderness to people who protect it. You are allowed to be new, even if your old self trained others to expect you as endlessly available. You are not a faucet, you are a person. You are not a storage unit for someone else's unprocessed emotions, you are my beloved. I have seen your nights. I have counted the times you rehearsed arguments alone because the actual conversation never lets you finish a sentence. I have watched you become your own defense attorney and judge and jury just to convince yourself that your needs are not unreasonable. Child, your needs are not unreasonable. A hug without hooks is not unreasonable. A yes that stays yes tomorrow is not unreasonable. A no that does not spark punishment is not unreasonable. Honesty that does not make you the villain is not unreasonable. You have asked me if love always has to hurt this much. The answer is no. The pain you are feeling is not the price of love, it is the invoice of misalignment. You wondered whether you were being petty, dramatic, or unforgiving. You delayed your yes to yourself to maintain harmony for someone else. You thought endurance was holiness. Hear me, endurance without truth is not holiness, it is hiding. Compassion without boundaries is not saintly, it is self-erasure. Mercy without wisdom becomes consent to cycles I never wrote for you. I did not design you to be a bridge for people who refuse to walk. Let me reorder this for you: first truth, then compassion, first clarity, then generosity, first respect, then access. Practical steps now, because I love you in specifics. Write dates. Write what was said. Write how you felt before, during, and after. Patterns emerge on paper faster than they do in your head. Keep your notes private and honored. Decide your meeting places, choose public or with a trusted third person for delicate conversations. Prepare 2 or 3 short sentences that are yours to use when fog arrives. Try these: I need time to consider that. I don't receive being spoken to like this. That's not accurate, here is what happened. This isn't a good time for me, let's reschedule. Watch how clarity changes the choreography of the room. Adjust your availability. You are not required to explain a boundary to the person who benefits from you not having one. If you do choose to explain, keep it short and kind. Never debate your feelings with someone who benefits from you doubting them. Bring your calendar under my peace. Restore your mornings. Do not open your day to any voice that steals your focus before you have received mine. For a season, decline confidential venting sessions with people who weaponize what they learn. Silence is not punishment, it is oxygen. You asked me for confirmation. I am generous with confirmation when it leads to freedom, not to gossip. So I will show you small, verifiable things that require no spying, no snooping, no obsession. You will see how often your words are retold with edits. You will notice how your time is requested last minute but expected first priority. You will notice that apologies arrive only when consequences do, and even then they are tickets back to yesterday. You will see how credit is distributed in rooms you built. None of this is to harden you, it is to wake you. I do not want your heart to become stone, I want it to become guarded treasure. Now about forgiveness. Forgiveness is not the removal of wisdom. Forgiveness is the removal of poison. You can forgive and still lock the door against repeated harm. You can forgive and still decline invitations that cost you your clarity. You can forgive and forget the access code. If anyone tries to shame you for protecting yourself, remember, wolves do not get to teach sheep about love. Let me teach you about love. Love protects. Love tells the truth. Love does not demand you sacrifice your identity to maintain connection. Love does not call your exhaustion a lack of faith. Love does not move the goalpost each time you arrive. Love celebrates your boundaries because boundaries keep love from becoming harm. You will still feel pulled by old scripts. That is normal. Your nervous system remembers what it trained to expect. Be patient with yourself. When the old pattern tries your door, put your hand over your heart and say, "Not this time. I am loved, I am clear, and I am not available for confusion." Repeat until your body believes you. Celebrate tiny wins, the text you did not answer right away, the meeting you moved to a day when you are rested, the thought you challenged instead of obeying. Each small, wise choice is you returning to yourself with me. There is a lie that says you must choose between compassion and strength. Refuse it. In me, compassion becomes clearer, and strength becomes softer. You will feel your voice return not as a shout, but as a steady tone that does not tremble when challenged. People who love you will adjust and even applaud your growth. People who only loved your compliance will protest. Let that response reveal what it reveals. Do not debate with revelation. Step forward with me. Now hear a blessing over your relationships. I bless your ears to hear truth even when it arrives quietly. I bless your eyes to see kindness even when it is not showy. I bless your spine to stand in rooms where you once collapsed to keep peace. I bless your tongue to speak with accuracy and grace. I bless your feet to carry you out of rooms that refuse to honor what God is building in you. I bless your home to be a sanctuary where your nervous system rests and resets. I bless your mornings to begin with me, not with crisis. I bless your nights to close without rehearsing battles you will never fight. Let this blessing run like clean water through the corners where control once pooled. You still wanted a name. So I will give you one more name, the only name you truly need to move on. The name is yours. The person who will take responsibility for protecting you is you, with me. The person who will sign the release form to exit the cycle is you, with me. The person who will refuse to be used as currency in other people's conflicts is you, with me. The person who will unclench their jaw, breathe, and live their own life again is you, with me. That is not loneliness, that is alignment. In alignment, safe people gather, and unsafe people drift. In alignment, opportunities return that confusion kept outside. In alignment, you realize your sensitivity was never a flaw, it was a finely tuned instrument I gave you to pick up key changes in rooms that pretend to be in tune. When you feel tempted to chase clarity from the source of your confusion, pause. Come to me first. Invite me into the draft of your words before you send them. I will tighten sentences and soften edges. I will remove the need to win and keep the need to be honest. I will wrap you in the calm that makes manipulation lose its grip. The person who thrives on chaos cannot hold what peace refuses to offer. Carry peace like a passport. Some rooms will stamp it and welcome you. Other rooms will glare at it. Both are information. You will ask whether compassion allows consequences. Yes. Compassion without consequences is custody without safety. Consequences are not revenge, they are reality telling the truth. If someone repeatedly violates your boundaries, the consequence is distance. If someone lies, the consequence is less access to your planning. If someone mocks your needs, the consequence is fewer opportunities to be near your heart. You can bless and block at the same time. You can wish well and walk away. I am healing the part of you that believes protection is betrayal. I am healing the part of you that spiritualized self-neglect. I am healing the part of you that called anxiety by the name of discernment so you would have a reason to stay where you did not belong. I am healing shame for being slow to recognize patterns. Time was not wasted, time taught you. You are not behind. You are awakening exactly on time. Prepare for subtle resistance. When a pattern loses you as a host, it will try to bargain, charm, threaten, or imitate change. Give it the same answer every time: consistent boundary, consistent honesty, consistent pace. The pattern will tire. Patterns cannot live where clarity is consistent. Clarity is not flair, it is repetition. Keep repeating your freedom until the room learns your language or leaves. Now lift your head. You are not in trouble with God. You are not failing some invisible test by wanting peace. You are not difficult because you have needs. You are not unloving because you do not volunteer for confusion. You are not rebellious because you do not bow to someone else's urgency. You are my beloved. I am proud of you. I delight in your courage. I am restoring the sparkle in your eyes and the steadiness in your hands. You will laugh without checking the doorway. You will rest without listening for footsteps. You will plan without calculating how to keep everyone comfortable at the expense of your sanity. That is not selfishness, that is stewardship of the life I gave you. I have watched you walking through storms that were never meant to be yours, carrying burdens that were silently placed upon your shoulders when you weren't looking. There has been a pattern of sudden chaos around you, as if invisible hands keep pushing things out of place just when you begin to stand strong again. This is not coincidence, my beloved one. There is a reason behind the confusion, the sudden losses, the emotional drain that seems to return no matter how much you pray or rebuild. And today, I must reveal the truth you were never meant to carry alone any longer. There is a woman whose presence has quietly wrapped itself around the threads of your life, weaving storms into your peace and turning blessings into battles. She smiles when you are looking, but when your back is turned she speaks words drenched in envy, planting doubts into hearts that once celebrated you. She carries an old jealousy, one born from the light you carry that she could never dim. For so long she has hidden in plain sight, pretending to support you while secretly celebrating every setback that fell upon you. She whispered to those close to you, turning their minds, slowly making you feel isolated without knowing why. And you kept wondering why trust kept breaking, why people kept walking away right after getting close, why good news always seemed to dissolve into dust. My child, I saw her every time she smiled at you with counterfeit warmth. I heard her when she tried to curse what I blessed, when she spoke to others to question your worth, when she quietly manipulated your opportunities. She was the reason certain doors shut abruptly, the reason some who once loved you turned cold without explanation. She has been feeding on your kindness, bending your loyalty into her weapon. I allowed it to go on until this moment not because I was silent, but because I was gathering every hidden piece of evidence in the spiritual realm. The time for her mask to crack has now come. The storm you have been walking through was not yours to carry, it was hers, and she placed it on you to stay light while you sank under its weight. That season ends today. You will soon see her name exposed, and when you do, it will shock you, not because you never suspected her, but because a part of you always hoped you were wrong. She is someone who once held your hand, someone you shared secrets and dreams with, someone you believed was cheering for you. The betrayal was layered behind laughter, wrapped in concern, delivered in gifts meant to distract you from the poison hidden in her words. She has studied your heart and used your compassion as her cover. But I, the Lord your God, have watched her sharpen her false smiles like knives. She thought no one would ever connect the pain to her shadow, but I have marked her name in the heavens for exposure. Do not be afraid of the moment her identity comes into your sight. It will not break you. It will free you. I am preparing the reveal carefully, because when her mask falls, many other pieces around you will realign like shattered glass returning to form. Opportunities that disappeared will return. Relationships that turned distant will suddenly warm again. You will see how many things she poisoned without you ever knowing she touched them. She will be caught in her own trap, and while she watches everything she built through deception collapse, you will rise from the ruins she left behind and walk untouched, shining brighter than before. I need you to understand this deeply. What you went through was never proof of your weakness. It was proof of your endurance. She planned for you to be destroyed silently, to disappear while everyone assumed you simply faded. But you stood, you kept breathing through the suffocation, you kept trying even when nothing seemed to move. That is why I have chosen to intervene now. Because the very resilience she tried to break has summoned my justice. I am not coming to warn you, I am coming to vindicate you. I will place her name in your hearing soon, and when you hear it, you will remember these words. The woman who stood smiling while orchestrating your chaos is the same one who will now watch you ascend beyond her reach. Her downfall will be sudden. It will come not by your hands but by mine. One day soon she will try to harm you again, thinking she is unseen, and that very moment will become the doorway through which her own schemes consume her. She will face the weight of everything she tried to place on you. You will not need to argue, you will not need to prove anything, you will not even need to speak, because I, the Lord, will speak for you through undeniable signs that even she cannot deny. And all who once believed her whispers about you will watch her fall and will know the truth they were blinded from. I am telling you this now so your heart will not tremble when it begins. Because the exposure is near. This is not meant to fill you with anger or vengeance. This is meant to heal you. To lift the weight of confusion you carried for so long, thinking you were cursed or forgotten. You were never cursed. You were never forgotten. You were chosen, and she feared that truth more than anything. That fear turned her love into hatred, her friendship into a weapon. But it ends now. The chains she tried to fasten around your destiny are breaking as you read this. Even now, in this very moment, I am cutting spiritual cords she tied around your name. You will feel lighter. You will breathe easier. And you will notice that the darkness she summoned around you can no longer stay. Prepare your heart, my beloved. Because as soon as I remove her from your circle, I will begin to pour what I held back while you were under her shadow. There will be rapid blessings, doors opening without effort, favor flowing without resistance, relationships blooming without betrayal. You will not need to question who is safe anymore. The people I send next will be drenched in loyalty and clothed in truth. And as for her, she will not be able to return even if she tries. I will place an invisible wall between your destiny and her presence. She will see you rise and will not be able to touch you. This is not a warning. This is a rescue. You have endured enough storms that were never yours. The season of hidden sabotage is ending, and the woman who cloaked herself in friendship to wound you is about to be unmasked by my own hand. Be still, and do not let fear trick you into holding on to what I am removing. The revelation will be painful, but only for a moment. What comes after will be peace like you have never known. Stay close to me. Watch carefully. Because her name is about to echo in your spirit, and when it does, you will know that justice has arrived. And from that moment on, nothing she built from your pain will stand, and everything I promise Ed you will begin.